Okay, so now in this video I will show you how to write the standard form of the equation of the circle that has two different solution points. In this case they are -3 and 5, 3. So basically, for you to understand this better, you have a circle and you have two different points in this circle, which are -3, 3, and 5, 3. So we know that the standard form equation is this one I gave you here, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. So what you have to do is find the midpoint of this circle and then substitute the x value of the midpoint into h and the y value into k of the standard form equation. So now you use this equation, the midpoint formula, to find the midpoint. So basically what you're going to do is use -3 plus 5 over 2 and 3 plus 3 over 2. Basically what you're doing is substituting these intercepts into the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of the circle. So now we get a midpoint of 1, 3. This is our midpoint. So now what you're doing is using the midpoint of the circle and substituting it into the standard form equation. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So you leave x minus 1, since the 1 is a positive, you have to put it as the equation is saying. Since it's a positive, you leave the minus there. Squared plus y minus 3 squared. And the same thing happens with the 3. It is negative because in the equation it's supposed to be negative. So what you're trying to do is solve for r squared. Sorry that I didn't put it before. But now that you have the midpoint inside of the standard form equation, what you do is use one of the 2 points, -3, 3 or 5, 3, and substitute it with the midpoint in the standard form equation to solve for r squared. So let's say in this one I'll use -3 and leave the -1, which is already here, and the squared, plus 3 minus 3, which is already there, squared, equals r squared. This is going to give you -4 squared plus 0 equals r squared. And -4 squared is 16. So 16 equals r squared. So now that you solved for r squared, all you have to do is take the original equation with the midpoint and substitute what you got for the r squared here in this equation. So the equation and the final answer is going to be x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. This is your final answer. Okay, so this is a second example. In this one, you will basically do the same thing we just did, but with these different 2 points. So here I put the circle, the 2 solution points given inside the circle. And now I have to find the midpoint of this circle based on these two solution points. Okay, so here I substituted these two into this equation, the midpoint, and you see here I use the two x values, 0 and 6, 0 and 6, and the two y values, 0 and 8, 0 and 8. I divide them by 2, and this will give me a midpoint of 3, 4. Now that I have the midpoint, what I will do is substitute it into the standard form equation. So, x minus 3, remember it's a minus because it's a positive here, but in the equation it says to put it as a negative. So, x minus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals r squared. Now what we have to do is solve for r squared. You can choose either one of the 2 points. To make it easier, I will use the 0 0 point, okay, so now that I solve, 0 minus 3, negative 3 squared is 9, and 0 minus 4 squared is 16. I add those up and it gives me r squared is 25. So now what I do is use the original equation with the midpoints. So it's this one over here. I'm going to do it. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equal to what already gave you r squared, which was 25. And this will be your final equation. Hope you liked my video and hope it is helpful.